Promised land is in the palm of our hands, not confined by the lines drawn in the sand, buried in flesh, hidden in bone. The kingdom of heaven is embedded in the soul. In order to return and become whole, we must be humble, surrender ego, let go of the future and the past. Feel the light that shines right through the mask. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear. When the mind is clear. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear. When the mind is clear. Peace and love. I dissolve my fears. I dissolve my fears. It's here when the mind is clear. Our concentration draws it near.
Lost in the desert looking for oasis. Taste bliss takes our mind to Genesis. Exodus to the space, no nemesis. Fly into the sun like young Icarus. Born to the dust, rise like a phoenix does. To the gates of the kingdom so glorious. Marching forward into love like a warrior does. Return to the one and become victorious.
Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where we're at. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear.
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 Heaven is here. When the mind is clear.
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 Peace and love. I dissolve my fears. I dissolve my fears. Peace and love. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. The promised land is not found on the map. Gotta draw the mind back. Pull out of the trap, move back, retract, make direct contact. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Lost in a strange land, caught up in this game plan. Trying to find my way back to the train station. Looking outside, but it's not a place, man. It's a state of mind. Graceland. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear.
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 Heaven is here. When the mind is clear.
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 Peace and love. I dissolve my fears. I dissolve my fears. Peace and love. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at.
I've been in the shelter since May of last year.
I wasn't here for the whole year. It was just half last year. My grandma died.
If I grow up, I want to do a scientist.
Playing music makes me feel energetic when I had a bad day, or happy.
Music makes me feel calm when I get stressed sometimes.
When you're displaced and when your life is chaotic, as it is when you're in a shelter, We look for ways in which music can provide that kind of consistency, that kind of grounding, and also a chance for emotional expression and individuality.
The music makes me express my feelings by using the beats.
There are about as many ways to benefit from music therapy as there are styles of music or types of people in the world. But it's also a chance to be heard as an individual for the first time, or the chance to produce something that's unique when you see the results, when you make that connection with a person and you're able to see them grow and to be able to try new ways of being in the moment. There's nothing like it. I mean, to make an impact on another person is just amazing. It's the most rewarding challenge that I've ever had.
The new equipment helps me because it's giving me like more ideas.
Like instead of those earbuds, I'm not really concentrating on my ears hurting. I'm more concentrating on my work.
So with good quality equipment, bass is rich, the highs are crisp. It sounds like the professional recordings that the kids are used to hearing and makes for a more satisfying listening and production experience.
And I can really use these to listen to my music.
Music makes me who I am.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah Hall, and this is your new moon reading with spiritual guidance and energy forecasting for May 15th through the 28th, 2018. The new moon is in the sign of Taurus, with strong influences coming in from Jupiter, which lends to an intense energy that brings both grounded, honest action steps and opportunities for deep, soul-related healing. Jupiter energy is awesome because it's very expansive, inspiring, and shines a light on your potential to spread your wings and work your magic in the world. Now, at the global level, we might be finding ourselves turning our attention towards events on the global stage. And according to the angels, it will be important to release any fear-based thinking that you might see touted by the media. You may be extra sensitive at this time, so you'll just want to shield your energy a little bit more with regard to that. Remember that worry and fear don't help anything, but prayers and positive action steps do. If you find yourself in discourse or contemplation over global events and want to clear your mind towards positive contributions, definitely check out my guided meditation for world peace, which I'll put right over here in the eye icon, and I'll also leave the link in the description below. You may really be finding yourself inspired to take some kind of bold, adventurous action steps around the new moon. This energy cycle is a very moving, motivating one, inspiring big new revelations, perspectives, and changes. If you find yourself feeling inspired to take action, just know that this is best served when your actions have an honest sense of purpose, grounded planning, and truly live up to the values that you have, your ideals. Following impulses or quick and harsh judgments won't be helpful at this time, but again, thinking things through carefully will lend to deeply healing insights. Be proactive in showing your love in your relationships during this moon cycle too, because you'll have an opportunity at this time to heal old wounds in relationships, opening the heart. Deep subconscious emotional programming is now coming to light so that you can focus on healing and transformation. This would be a great opportunity to engage in soul retrieval, past life healing, or ancestral healing. And in fact, actually my podcast, Through the Eyes of the Angels, will be on ancestral healing this Thursday, May 17th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on bringmetolife.com. So definitely tune into that if you'd like to learn more about it. And you can also, of course, call in for a chance to receive a live angel reading on the air. And the links for tuning into the podcast live are in the description below for you guys, as well as links for downloading or streaming the podcast recording after it is aired. You can also learn a little more on ancestral healing in my video discussion on this right over here, clicking the eye icon, and I'll put it in the description below for you too. Any way we spin it, this moon cycle is bound to be one full of self-discovery and the power to make deep personal changes. So definitely set your intentions high and base them in your deepest values. Let's go to our cards to get further guidance. Today I am working with the Archetype Oracle cards by Caroline Myss. As usual, we'll just go ahead and give our cards a shuffle and let Law of Attraction bring forward the 3 that we need to see today. Our first card is the Queen archetype, the Queen. So right away, the angels are saying that right around the new moon, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to express inner divine feminine energy, to get in touch with deep emotions, and also specifically the kind of healing that you might find coming to focus is mother-related healing. Healing around your relationship with your mom or mothering figures in your life. The Queen is also a sign of powerful divine feminine leadership taking place in your life. So this is a card that says certainly go ahead and take action or leadership towards any of the goals that you're thinking about, or even towards, again, your own personal emotional healing. Be proactive about it. You are the leader. You are ready. You're in a beautiful place to do this. Let's see what our second card has to say. We have the Scribe card. The Scribe. The Scribe card is a sign that it would be really, really great to spend some time journaling or writing creatively during this moon cycle. Again, this is a time, as we saw, for receiving new revelations, insights, or perspectives on our own lives or even on the world at a global kind of level. You do best to organize your thoughts and to preserve this wisdom or knowledge by doing a little bit of creative writing. The angels are also adding in the message that this is a positive sign for those of you who are writers or who are called to be communicators out in the world. This is a sign that says now is your time to wake up, get motivated, inspired, and started in sharing your writing with the world. All right, let's see what our third card has to say. We have the Samaritan. The archetype of the Samaritan. This card is all about life purpose. Right away, the angels want you to know that your life purpose, in the end, is all about service. Yes, our life purposes serve us in a way. We enjoy the experience of it. But what it's all about in the end is how we serve others. So when it comes again to launching big new plans, ideas, and goals in the world, focus on service. If any thoughts of ego or worry come up, if nervousness arises in your mind, you feel blocked around what to do with your career or your life purpose action steps, again, focus on service. Because when you focus on service, you're getting the ego out of the way and you're letting God work through you. You're letting divine love work right through what you're doing. It immediately uplifts the vibration of everything that you're working on in your life purpose and spiritually, and actually helps Law of Attraction to bring the right people into your life at the right time who are meant to share in the good things that you are expressing or giving out in the world. So you'll notice that there might be some beautiful people connections towards the end of this moon cycle that give you opportunities to really get to know you in your life purpose as one who will serve. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I have made
I next? Is what the students wonder as they're hiding under desks, running drills instead of taking tests. Bulletproof vests couldn't bring back the ones that we lost in the attack. So who do you protect? Is it the NRA? Because they pay millions of dollars to lobby the next campaign. It's a damn shame, but you can't fool the youth. They demand change, taking the stage and speaking truth. We gotta regulate, no longer can it wait. The rate of filling the grave seems to escalate. Buying a gun is as easy as buying new shoes. Weekly school shooters we refuse to get used to. No excuses, policymaker don't play stupid. Arming our teachers is further from the solution. If you don't make a change, then we'll vote you out the way. The young ones will come and take your place.
How many more must be shot till we wake up, make it stop? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Not one more can be lost, so we all must stand up. Say enough is enough. 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 We need to tackle the root causes. Enough is enough. It breaks my heart to see these young eyes cry for all the pain of friends they've lost. We mourn their taken lives, and I'm sorry for the ones gone before their time. They won't be forgotten. No, they made this nation rise. Look around you, all are gathered here to surround you. We're ready for this change. We cannot be silent anymore. This is worth fighting for. Lead the way.
Hold on, there's hope. It's been done. Many paid the price, but now not one more can be lost. March up for your life, keep marching on. Never again so much. No one more can be lost. March up for your life, keep marching on. No one more can be lost. Never again so much. No one more can be lost. Never again so much.
We will not sit in classrooms with armed teachers. We refuse to learn in fear. We reject turning our schools into prisons.
How many more must be shot till we wake up, make it stop? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Not one more can be lost, so we all must stand up. Say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
What's up? This is Patrick Haize, and today I want to talk about something that I call paradigm confirmation bias. Now, I had heard the term confirmation bias, and it like totally hit the spot for me when I heard it. But I wanted to articulate it a little more deeper, so I added paradigm to the beginning of it, paradigm confirmation bias, or PCB for short. And this is what I'm calling the number one thing that keeps us trapped inside a box. And the reason for that is because a paradigm confirmation bias is a psychological bias that works to reinforce the paradigm that we're already existing within. So essentially it becomes like or can become a misinterpretive predisposition in which we start misinterpreting our reality in a way that helps us to reinforce our perspective of how we think the reality is, no matter how delusional that can become. And as we start looking into human psychology and we start studying the culture, you can see how many people have this extreme paradigm confirmation bias that oftentimes really keeps them limited within these really small boxes of perception. One really obvious one, at least it's obvious to me, is the one of Western medical science. You know, over the course of many years, I've ran into so many different people that either have a family member with terminal illness or have had terminal illness themselves. And, we start getting into conversation, and I'd be trying to kind of offer different resources or alternative therapy solutions. But essentially what would end up happening between us is I would feel this dissonance, and these people would really work to convince me that they've tried everything, that the Western medical science was the only route to go, and that they're pretty much hopeless, and either they or one of their family members is going to die, and they just have to accept that. And this was, especially the first couple times this happened, I'm like, are you serious? How could you be, missing this? But as I kind of delved deeper into it, I realized that what's going on is that, these people have developed an idea of how they see the world. They have a certain paradigm. And to have to face the idea that potentially they've been lied to, or potentially there's technology that's been hidden from them, or potentially they didn't know what was going on, or they made the wrong decision about what they should do to treat their family member. When they're faced with all those kinds of like scary things, they would shut down and misinterpret what I'm saying, or just not even be willing to accept anything I was saying, in order to reinforce the paradigm that they did everything they could and that was the only option they had, because that seems safer to them. And really, this is what it comes down to. It comes down to safety. We develop paradigm confirmation biases because we become comfortable with the way that we see the world, and then we feel unsafe if something comes in and starts crashing down the wall of what our beliefs are. So we start defending that. And we develop these things called paradigm confirmation biases that essentially just act like blinders that will misinterpret our reality in order to conform our interpretation to this predisposed idea of what we think the reality is. So, in kind of uncovering this and this becoming a very obvious thing, I realized the value of this term paradigm confirmation bias, because it's kind of a lot to explain, but if we can use this term more often, then it becomes more commonplace, and ideally it will become, like a meme that people are familiar with, and then we can start pinpointing it in ourselves and in others, and help give ourselves the ability to transcend some of the limited boxes that we find ourselves in. Because ultimately, the way that I like to approach life is, and I talked about this in the video I made called Blow Your Mind, I got to this point where my reality crumbled, and I found a different reality or a different paradigm that blew my mind. And I started kind of developing an insatiable desire to break my paradigm down and build a new one. And what I found was that approaching life with this willingness to let go of how we see the world and invite in new ways gives us the opportunity to really expand ourselves really to an unlimited degree. And oftentimes it's this fixed idea of what we think is true, or what has been sold to us as the reality, the given assumptions that have been given to us, that really limit us from being able to expand ourselves. So especially with these basic assumptions of, things like, the world is round, or not to say I'm a flat earther, but things like the world is round, or that, Western medical science is, the pinnacle of the evolution of science, biological science, or that you need to do something that is not fun in order to make a living, that you can't make a living, doing something that you truly love. These kind of beliefs that oftentimes were instilled into us as a child are just false. If you actually dig into it, if you're willing to accept that maybe things are different than you thought, and you start digging into this information, you'll find that most things just crumble. And actually, there's this self-reinforcing matrix going on with the universe, whereas the things that the ideas that you energetically invest in, they start to be echoed back to you by the universe. And so it's actually, this is kind of like how the process of creating your own reality can rise into your favor. Whereas if you start investing in certain ideas that are extremely empowering, and you start looking for evidence of those ideas, you'll see more and more evidence in your reality, and then the reality of empowerment becomes more and more tangible and experiential. So the number one thing is to be willing to just like let go of stuff. You know what? Even if it seems so logical and obvious, it's like, well, let's be open-minded here. It's a simple term for being open-minded. Let's be open-minded. I'll take a look at it. I'll let everything that I thought I know go and really take a fresh look at what reality could be and entertain that for a while and see if it serves me. And if it serves you, then we can develop a positive paradigm confirmation bias where we're looking to reinforce something that's really empowering. Now, when we develop these positive paradigm confirmation biases and we start using paradigm confirmation bias in our own favor, it's important to always be willing to question and break those paradigms, even if those paradigms seem to be extremely beneficial, even if they seem to be working really, really well. From time to time, it's sometimes good to stay open to a different paradigm and see, you know what, maybe there's something that's even better. Maybe there's a paradigm that could, maybe you have 10 points on the positive side, but you could jump that to 30 points on the positive side. And that one could work for a while, then you could jump to 80 points on the positive side. So there's no upper limit to the exponential bliss curve and the curve of empowerment and beauty that we can experience in our life when we're willing to let go of what we believe and embrace something that could be more beautiful and more powerful. So my hope for you is to be able to, maybe look at some of those rigid beliefs that you have, and even if they seem like that's the way it is, I've known this my whole life, this is just the way the world is, give it a try. Just try breaking them down, try exploring something new, and start using this term paradigm confirmation bias. Talk about it with your friends and express it, because it gives us a linguistic tool to shine the light on something that without the term is a little bit more vague and requires a bit more of a verbose explanation to get across. But if we can make this term paradigm confirmation bias more of a common term, then I think that this can become a nice flashlight in the psychology of human beings that can really help us to levitate to an experience that is more uplifting and more expanded. So thanks for tuning in. This is Patrick Haize, and I'll talk to you next time.
Tell me what just happened over there. I remember walking up those stairs. We were stepping into a sacred light. And tell me what just happened over there. I remember looking at the wrinkles on your hands, reminding me of rivers in the Holy Land. Tell me what just happened over there. I know. You can hear my soul. You can hear my soul. I know. You can hear my soul. Tell me what just happened over there. I remember walking up those stairs. We were stepping into a sacred light. And tell me what just happened over there. I remember looking at the wrinkles on your hands, reminding me of rivers in the Holy Land. tell me what just happened every day. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. You can hear my soul. You can hear my soul. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. You can hear my soul.
Hello beautiful people, this is Angie Sanchez. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. I facilitate past life regression sessions, and during my sessions we communicate with the higher self, the oversoul self, the all-knowing self, the subconscious self, whatever you want to call it, but that part of us that knows everything. So that's a little bit about me for those that are new to my channel. This video is going to be around what to do when you're not feeling inspired. Just in this spot recently where my time and my attention had to be focused on some family stuff going on, and I just didn't feel inspired to share content or to create content. I felt like it wasn't coming from an authentic place, so I do want to address that. When you're not feeling inspired and there's just all this other stuff going on, honor that. Honor whatever it is that's happening, whatever it is that does need your attention. Because I believe that in today's day and age, our focus is always on what we're putting out there for others to see. Yet there's so much going on behind the photo, right? Yes. I know I have experienced that in the last few weeks, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being authentic. There's nothing wrong with being true to who you are and to where you are. So honor what's going on in your life. If you're not feeling inspired, just kind of bake in that. Even though, I mean, I know I didn't upload videos for the last 3 weeks. I know that I felt guilty about that, and that's okay. I allowed myself to feel that. I allowed myself to process all of that. And just yesterday, actually, I was sitting at the dentist, oddly enough, and everything just kind of clicked. All of the inspiration started aligning for whatever reason. Maybe because while I was sitting in that chair, I didn't have anything else to do but to just let everything come in, versus always being busy or always thinking about other things happening, or always thinking about how I can help other people, whether it's my work or family or friends, whatever it is. So I guess my moment of alignment was that those 2 hours in the chair at the dentist. So find your grounding space, whether that's meditation, reading, writing, journaling. But I think the biggest lesson I've learned from this experience was don't be so hard on yourself, and take a break if you need to. I know that sometimes I personally don't believe in breaks. I'm like, no, go, 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 go. But there just is no growth in go, go, go. It's like you're learning, but you don't have that moment to take a step back and to look at the bigger picture. So now that I've had that opportunity, I am here, I am back. My message to you in this video is honor where you are. If you're in a rut and you're not feeling inspired, live in that. Like, let that soak in, because I do believe that's where a lot of growth happens. That's where a lot of our connection to others happen. Instead of others thinking we're this great invincible person who's always doing things and always creating, know that everyone has their low moments, and everyone has things that they don't see behind a photo, things that they don't see behind a video. So I want to leave you guys with that. I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. Do like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, and don't be so hard on yourself. That was one of my biggest messages to myself this these last few weeks. So don't be so hard on yourself. And there are people that do need your time and your attention, and sometimes you need to prioritize that. And when you do feel inspired, when you are ready to create again, get back on it and pick up where you left off. So I'll leave you guys with that. I thank you so much. I love reading your comments, so please comment below on your biggest takeaway from this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you all next time. See you later. Namaste.